WOCA.
Ocala. Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. Will treat you right.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock, Matt Gibbs is in the studio. Matt is the owner of Sunrise Automotive and Crossroad Auto Sales. So if you need your car fixed or you need another car, give Matt a call either way. And this radio show is called Auto Repair with Personal Care, as the song just told you. And this is your time to call in if you want to have your questions about your cars answered. The number is 622-9622. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Larry.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Ever since I took my car to you, I keep trying to remember what I had done. I don't keep good records, but I think I had a lot done. So I'm really happy with the last visit because, part of it is peace of mind. It cost me nothing extra to have you guys look at my brakes. Was that a favor, or did you do it for everybody?
No, we'll do that for people.
So you just check, just to make sure, because if something needed to be done, then you would have said it needs work. But in my case, you said no, you're okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
See, that's why I like going to you. Somebody else, I wouldn't know. If somebody told me it needed work, I'd say okay. How would I know?
You wouldn't.
No. So I'm glad I can trust you. That way, when you tell me it doesn't need work,
and that's the issue right there. That's where the rubber meets the road. It's trust.
Literally.
It's absolutely.
It is literally where the rubber meets the road.
But yeah, trust and relationship, and that's what we've built our business on.
By the way, I have a car, actually a bus story that has the Bible in the story. Are you ready for this? Did you hear this story?
No.
Do you know the group Lady Antebellum?
No.
Oh, really? It's like a trio. It's two guys and a woman. And they travel around in buses. And the woman is married, but I don't think to one of the two guys. So she and her husband are in the bus. They're touring around the country. And the right rear tire on the bus, something happens to it. It catches on fire. And in essence, the whole bus goes up in flames. The only thing that was salvaged was the Bible.
Huh.
Everything on the bus was burned, but the Bible was okay. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's cool.
So getting to the car part of that, could that happen to a car?
Yes.
Could your car actually could your tire cause your car to go on fire?
Well, I don't know if the tire caused the issue. The tire was the result of some other issue.
Oh.
I would venture to say.
So when
a brake issue or a brake fluid issue or
so something else you think caused the tire to catch on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. So the tire. Okay. So why does the rubber of a tire burn so differently than anything else?
It burns, and when that tire catches on fire,
that's it. You can't put it out.
Well, you can, but if you're driving down the road, by the time it just
makes it worse.
Yeah, it just gets,
the driving adds to it, the air or whatever.
Well, I would venture to say it probably didn't take them real long to figure out something wasn't right.
Right.
So, let's stop the bus, get off the bus. But by the time, emergency folks come and she's gone.
Yeah.
And those things, when they go up, they go up. It's kind of like a mobile home. You ever see a mobile home catch on fire?
Yes, I have. Yes.
It don't take long for the mobile home to be gone.
No, I know.
And a lot of buses, RVs, it's very similar. Once it gets going, I bought a motor home for my family and stuff, and we were driving down the road, and I heard it. I heard the fire begin. I heard the ignition.
Your mobile home went on fire?
Yeah, and I told my wife, I was driving. I said, "Hold the wheel." So she's holding the wheel, and I lifted. The engine compartment is inside.
Right. And
I lifted it up, and I saw the flames, and I put it back down.
Wow!
So I said, "Go back and get the fire extinguisher." So she went back in the cupboard and got the fire extinguisher.
Man.
I said, "Take the wheel," and she's taking the wheel. I wasn't going to stop.
Wow!
And so I lifted up the engine compartment and sprayed the fire extinguisher and put the fire out, and she was freaking out, and I was kind of freaking out, and the kids were having fun, and we just went on to where we were going, because I knew once I stopped, there was probably no restarting it again. So when we got to where we were going,
wow,
we stopped, and naturally it did some damage. So they spent 2 days, swimming in the springs and playing on the park.
Oh, wow.
And I was calling the local parts house, and they were bringing me parts out to the campsite where we were, and I was fixing on the motorhome. But yeah, I knew if I would have stopped, it would have been over.
You are like my brothers. Let me tell you why. Because I'm the oddball in my family of the boys, the men, whatever we are, because they all know cars. And they all could do that. But I would have stopped and got out. That would have been the end of it. Yeah. The whole thing would have burned up.
Yeah, and the whole thing would have been up in smoke.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can remember my brother out in California had a manual transmission, I think. I can't remember now. But anyway, the pernindle thing that you change the gears with wasn't there. He would work it with a screwdriver, and so I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I was driving, and I literally had to have somebody in the passenger seat do that part for me, because it was just too much for me to have to look there and know what I'm doing. Have you ever done that? I mean, use like makeshift something just to get from point A to point B?
Yes. I was actually here's a funny story. I was working at the dealership at the time, and at the dealership I worked at, I used to do all the front end alignments. Well, there was a Corvette that was over in the body shop,
right?
And it was involved in an accident. So they got it all done. They got the body man did all his work, and he was completed with it. And they sent it to me to do a front end alignment on it.
Okay.
Now this particular Corvette, it has tilt wheel. You could tilt the wheel up and down,
right?
But it also had travel, where the wheel would go in and out. So it would go up and down, in and out.
What's that for?
Just for comfort, to set it up.
Big bellies?
Yeah. It would be all the way in when I was driving.
Me too.
So anyway, so I go and I do the alignment, and I'm going down 441, and I'm heading south. Okay? The dealer that I worked at was on South Pine, but I pulled out of the dealership and I started heading south, like toward Bellevue. I got up to about 60 miles an hour, and I'm making sure the steering wheel's straight, it's not pulling, it's riding good. It just was in a pretty bad accident, so I wanted to make sure it drove straight down the road and everything. And all of a sudden, the steering wheel came off in my hand.
Oh!
Now, because it had travel, not just tilt, but travel,
right.
The shaft that the steering wheel applies to,
right.
It fell down in the hole.
Holy mackerel.
There was nowhere for me to put the steering wheel.
Wow.
It was gone. I'm going 60 miles an hour holding the steering wheel, driving down the road. So I just start tapping the brake, trying to slow down. I didn't want to slam on the brake because that had just caused all kinds of grief. So I'm just tapping on the brake, and I drifted over the median, through the grass, and ended up on the other side of the 441.
Wow.
As I'm sitting there,
that's crazy,
collecting myself.
And thank God there was nobody coming.
There was nobody coming.
Wow.
I just ended up on the other side of the road, still heading in the same direction I was going. But I noticed I saw this flash in the glass in the windshield. I saw this flash, and I turned around, and it was a Marion County deputy.
Okay, that's what I was going to guess. Okay, yes.
Okay, so he knocks on the window, and I roll the window down. He looked at me and he said, "What in God's name were you doing?" And I handed him the steering wheel, and he started laughing at me. He was cracking up. He thought that was the funniest thing he'd seen.
Wow.
And we had to call and get a wrecker. Come down, pick me up, bring me back to the shop.
Did you get a ticket or anything?
Oh, no. He knew that,
It was a mechanical thing.
I told him, too. I says, as soon as I get back to where this car is going to go, I'm going to find the man that was responsible for putting the steering wheel on, and I'm going to go punch him in the face.
Oh.
And
so somebody made a mistake putting the steering wheel on?
He forgot to put the nut on the steering wheel. Put the horn on it, but forgot to put the nut on it.
Gee.
And so yeah, I did.
I hope nobody ever takes the nut off of my steering wheel. I wouldn't be able to do that.
It's fine if they do. Just remember, put the nut back on.
Gee, well, yeah.
I
don't even know where the nut is.
It's there. Trust me.
Wow, you had just two great stories so far. Just unbelievable. And I'm not offering very intelligent commentary. I'm just saying, wow. All right, we'll take a break and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm around, highs in the low to mid-80s. Mostly cloudy tonight with a shower and thunderstorm around, mainly early, low 67 to 71. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a strong thunderstorm or two, high 77 to 81. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with some showers and a heavier thunderstorm, high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online. Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
16 minutes after 10 o'clock, all the shows we've done with you, Matt, I think I love this because I can relate to all of this. It's scary. It's like watching one of those crazy videos where somebody's driving down the road. And off the air, you just told me another one, which was kind of amazing, too. Can you repeat that one for the listeners?
Well, I was telling Larry that back in the dealership days, that we had a service department and body shop. Well, a car was in a really bad accident to the point where we had to pull the engine, transmission, and everything out of the car so that the body man could go in there and straighten the frame and do his job. Well, he's sitting where the engine would be. He's got the car down and he's welding the firewall. Well, we even had to pull the master cylinder and the brake booster and everything off this car. Well, as he's sitting there welding on the firewall, sparks are shooting inside the car.
And hitting the upholstery.
And yeah, right, and getting on the carpet. And all of a sudden, just whoosh, you hear this whoosh, and you look out there and there's flames coming out of both sides of the car.
Wow.
And he's still sitting there just welding. We all were running over there. The body men were running. The mechanics are running. We're all running with hoses and fire extinguishers. And he never stopped welding. He just sat there and just kept on welding.
Wow. So what is the responsibility of the garage? I mean, the car was already damaged.
Yeah, well, that's what insurance is for, I guess.
Yeah,
because that car ended up just getting totaled.
That's the end of that car.
Yeah.
Huh?
It probably, to be honest with you, it was probably a blessing in disguise for the customer because this car was hit hard.
Wow. If you want to call, you're welcome to the number 622-9622. It can be a question, or you might want to comment on something Matt's been saying. These are amazing stories. This is the kind of show you haven't done before, though.
No.
Where we hear this kind of stuff.
Yeah, where you kind of tell some stories of what's happened in the past.
Yeah. And the story about losing the steering wheel, though, that doesn't happen. I've never heard of a steering wheel coming off before.
Yeah, well.
Let me go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Good morning. This is Bob. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, we had back in those days it was called a junkyard. Now it's a salvage yard.
Yes.
And we had a garage with it up in Pennsylvania. There was a farmer and his two boys came up in a real nice 39 Ford two-door, but the back fender, they hit a tree with the right rear fender. So they wanted Bill to go out there and take the torch and cut the fender off so they get into the bolts, and it was smashed in alongside the car. So Bill took the torch out there outside, and as soon as he hit that torch, that thing would go boom like that, They'd been hauling gas on the back floor, and there was no gas in the car, but there was traces of it. It went go boom. We went running there with the fire extinguisher and water hoses and trying to put it out. And Jerry said, "Do you think we can get it reupholstered, Mr. Bradley?" My father said, "Well, we got to get the fire out first." One more. Dave Kirk came in a 53 Mercury, and we walked over and said, "What are you doing, Dave?" There he had a pair of vice grips snapped on the steering shaft. No steering wheel. Driving that car with a pair of big vice grips snapped on there.
Oh, wow.
No, I've actually done that before myself. Yeah, on purpose.
Buddy telling me down through Red Line, Pennsylvania, in my '64 Chevy 2 I bought up there. It was a nice Super Sport Nova, and that was in about 82. It's a nice car, but I made a race car out of it, up to that and everything. Anyway, I came down through Red Line, and somebody else had been working on it for a while. Here, the darn steering wheel came off in my hands like it did with you. Dottie was pulling me with a chain, but I was able to put it back on the shaft quick. It didn't drop down like yours did. But that's scary when the steering wheel comes off in your
I guess so.
I'll see you.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
I hope that never happens to me.
Well, it shouldn't.
Well, it shouldn't. I know. Wow, that's crazy. You know what I hate too? Being pulled by a chain. I mean, there's got to be a better. I'd tow truck any day. I do not like being pulled by a chain.
I don't really care to be pulled by a chain
or being the puller. I don't like being the back one or the front one.
I'd rather be the front one.
Why? You got to hit if that guy doesn't do his job right.
Well,
don't you depend on him for the brakes?
Well, yes. I mean, but I'd rather be the puller than the pulley.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's so short. I have seen them sometimes going down the road, and they have such short ropes. How do they even think of doing that?
I was over at I was over at a place. I'm not going to say where I was, and I was picking up a Cadillac, and it says right on the window, no brakes. Well, a lot of people say they got no brakes, but they really do have brakes. They just don't have much brakes, right?
Okay.
So I get in this Cadillac, and I proceed to head from this place back over to our shop. This Cadillac has no brakes. No parking brake. A lot of people call that emergency brake.
Right.
No brakes. Larry, none.
So how'd you stop?
I hit a wall.
Oh, man.
I hit a wall in order to stop the car.
How fast were you going?
I wasn't going fast at all. I got it slowed down.
Head on? You hit it?
Oh, yeah. I just said, I'm going to have to hit this. I'm going to have to stop. I mean, somewhere down the line, it's
whose wall did you hit?
Mine. I hit my own wall.
Oh, man. How'd you pull into the driveway without slowing down?
Well, I just pulled in.
Wow. You have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah, good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
See, the catalytic converter, between that and the bottom of the car, is there a shield there, a heat shield?
Yes, on 99% of them, there sure is.
Oh, okay. Have you ever heard of one of those becoming loose and making like a rattling sound?
All the time.
Oh, okay. My stepson's complaining about noise underneath there, and him and his buddy got under there, and they think that's what it is. What do you have to do? Take the converter off and then re-weld it, or? It just
it depends. One of our listeners a couple weeks ago, he took his car over to the dealer, and they told him all this crazy stuff, and he called me and asked me, can I look at it? And it was part of his heat shield to do with this catalytic converter. We didn't have to take the converter off. We just had to. You might have to drop the exhaust in order to get to the shield, but you don't have to usually take it off.
How are they attached?
Well, some of them are attached with straps, bolts, screws. It really depends on what kind of car it is.
Yeah, it's an older Chevy. I've never seen a car myself. Maybe it's possible that all it has to do is just tighten the bolt or the screws up on it, huh?
Absolutely. That may fix your problem right there.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Thank you for the call. And let's take another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Hey, good morning, Larry. Good morning, Matt.
Morning.
Matt, I looked for you down in Leesburg this weekend. I thought you'd be wandering around down there. Didn't see you.
Oh, at the motorcycle thing?
Yeah.
Were you down there, Matt?
No.
I was down there for a couple of days. I didn't see Matt, though.
Huh. I was home doing yard work.
Well, I looked for you at the tattoo show. I know you like that. But my question is, have you ever used ceramic beads in tires to balance the tire? There's a company called Dyna beads. And I just wonder if you'd ever use those, because I did kind of a experiment on one of my motorcycles and took a couple ounces of weight off of one tire. This is a motorcycle tire, it's not big. A couple ounces of weight is a big difference. And it appears to work, and I just wondered if you'd ever used anything like that. I know the over-the-road truckers use them, but have you got any experience with it?
No, I do not. I do not. I have, I do not. I have the lead weights, every fashion, every design made for all the different wheels, but I haven't used no kind of ceramic beads. What do the beads stick to the inside of the tire or something?
No, they're actually loose inside the tire. That's their design. I sent you a brief email of the before and after results on my experience with it. The company I used was called Dyna, D-Y-N-A -beads. And what the beads did, they naturally, in the rolling of the tires, the tire rolls along, they naturally find the light spot in the tire. And they do a dynamic balance. As the tire wears, they'll change inside the tire. And, I always thought it was kind of snake oil, but I've done a lot of research on it, and it appears to work so far.
Huh. Yeah, I'm always interested in learning something new or seeing something new, so I'll look that up.
All right, check your email, Matt. I'll send you a brief description of my experience with it.
Okay, very good.
Talk to you guys later, and I'll see you next year's Biketoberfest.
No, I'll probably be doing housework.
Well, I'll be in front of the tattoo show, so I'll look for you.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, guys.
So that sounds like it would break. It's ceramic. If they're beads, wouldn't they smash against each other and break?
No.
How does that balance a tire? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I mean, there must be something. He sounds like he's experienced that it is works. It sounds like it's working for him.
Well, I would like to check it out and see.
Wow, is that the same for all tires? I mean, a motorcycle tire would have, I guess, less weight than a truck, obviously. So would it be the same?
You stop and think about it. I'm thinking if something's floating around inside the tire,
right?
Whenever you stop, everything's going to go to the bottom.
Yeah, right.
So it's going to take it a few. I don't know, how many or how long before everything kind of gets, gets going around and around the mulberry bush kind of thing.
Yeah. Have you ever put a tire on without the equipment? Like you did it out on the road? Like there was a tire that needed to go on a wheel and you put it on?
Not on a car.
No?
No. I'll find the equipment.
Is it possible to do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What?
I mean, you got to have more. Well, you got to have quite a bit of equipment to do it.
Okay.
A sledgehammer and a wedge, and
you wouldn't run it over with another car.
Well, I mean, that would be a.
I think I heard somebody tell me that.
Yeah, that would be an option.
I couldn't do that. I was stuck one time, and that's what somebody told me to do, and I said, "How am I going to do that?"
Excuse me, sir. Come here.
I don't know what I'm doing. It was on the phone.
Oh, I know, but who are you going to get to run over your car?
Oh, right.
You run over your tire.
I know.
I had a guy come in one time, and he comes in and he says, "I have a flat tire. My car's down the road. I have a flat tire." And I said, okay. And I said, do you have a spare? He goes, I do have a spare. He says, but the problem is that I got a good tire, but it's on the wrong wheel. I said, well, go get the tire and wheel, and we take the tire off that wheel and put it on this wheel. And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. So he goes off and he comes back and he brings his tire and his wheel. Now, this isn't a joke. This is true.
Right.
And so I said, well, this tire's flat. He says, yep. He says, I let all the air out of it so that it would be lighter to carry.
Oh, no.
So I go ahead and I swap this tire. And I couldn't help myself, Larry. Couldn't help myself. And I pumped it all up and I handed it to him. Hang on a minute. Let me let the air out so it'll be lighter to carry back.
Oh, no. That is crazy. Gosh. Matt, what's your phone number?
My phone number is 690-1993.
I enjoyed today's show. I feel like I had one more story I want to tell you. What was it? Oh, I know it was the leverage on my... I think I told you this before, that the leverage on my lug nut thing isn't long enough. I need to...
Buy a longer one.
Thank you, Matt. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Officials in Nepal appealing for more help after Saturday's devastating earthquake. Greg Graham of Save the Children has been in touch with his team working with residents there.
They're camping out, digging through rubble to try to find loved ones, taking injured people to hospitals that are already overwhelmed, morgues already overwhelmed. It's a really quite desperate situation.
More than 3,700 confirmed dead from the quake. Opening statements today in the trial of the man accused of killing 12 and injuring 70 in a Colorado movie theater in 2012.
James Holmes has pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but the burden is on prosecutors to prove that he was sane. To do that, they'll point to the planning that went into preparing for this crime.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. Chipotle says it's finished phasing out genetically modified ingredients from its menu, saying there's been no real consensus about their effects. The FDA has said they pose no safety risk. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Flo from Progressive here, making deliveries with Greta, who has her own flower shop.
Greta's Great Green Thumb.
Yep. Greta is saving a bunch of money on her commercial auto insurance with discounts like Safe Driver, Business Experience, and Paid in Full. Right, Greta?
Righty-o.
Righty-roo.
Correct-amundo.
Yes, sirree.
Wait, who are you calling sir?
What? No one. I thought we were doing a thing. No?
Yeah, no.
Discounts to save your business money. Visit Progressive.com to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.